And we are good to go. Thank you for joining me today, whether you are live streaming or Zooming, or maybe you're on YouTube. Some of that background out of the way. So today, as usual, blocks. You know, with your home practice, it really does help to get some good equipment, a good mat. I do highly recommend the Manduka brand. Not putting a plug in for them. Actually, I'm putting a plug. There's some great mats at Hugger Mugger, a local Utah company. They do a fantastic job with bolsters and blocks and straps as well. If you really need some help figuring out what mat is a good mat, and you're making an investment and you want that investment to last for a long time. These are lifetime warranty mats. I've always been very happy with the Manduka Pro and Pro Light. Pro Light for a smaller frame or build. If you're taller or bigger framed, maybe the Pro would be a better option. So that said, good equipment, some blocks, and once you have that, your home gym is stocked, and you can use these for a variety of things. You know, when you're on the floor, you're doing your sit-ups and other calisthenics. Great way, a great addition to your home gym. Okay, so we're going to start with some simple breathing. Inhale, take everything in, exhale, arms back down. Of course, we're doing headstand and handstand today. And inversion. So inversion simply means that your head is below the heart. Downward facing dog, the head is below the heart. That's an inversion. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're picking up the feet. So I want you to rest assured that your feet can be firmly planted into the earth for headstand and shoulder stand. Actually, shoulder stand, we'll do a supported way. Let's bring the arms forward and back. Yes, I like that flow. And so, not to be taken back, we're going to do a progression and take this one step at a time. And of course, if this is a skill set that you already have garnered, then you'll have a lovely time taking your own headstands variations and shoulder stand variations. And then let's push the air out through the mouth and then pull the air in. So our arms are doing a little work here. Push the air out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose a little quicker. 12 times, 10 more. Two more. Last one. Draw the air, a breath in, interlacing the fingers. Now hold the breath. We're going to extend the arms overhead, straightening the elbows, holding the breath in, and add a mula bandha to this. So the pelvic floor is lifted, contracted, and we're moving all the way up through the crown of the head. Exhale, release. Arms back down to your side. Shoulder roll. Forward, up, back, and down. And then we'll repeat that process of drawing the breath in. Exhale through the mouth 12 times. With a little speed. Little force. Two more. Last one. Bring it in. Arms interlaced. Fingers and press up. Again, bright, long, strong through the side body. Open up. It's like we're stretching the body, warming the body, getting it ready for the day if this is morning. And vibrant if this is evening. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. Shoulder roll, again, forward, up, back, and down. Take the arms out and float to the side. We'll add in a little movement for the spine, up and over to the left. Inhale, exhale over, connect with the breath. Inhale, straight on, exhale. Over with a twist, inhale, exhale, twist, inhale, forward, exhale, twist, inhale, and exhale, again. Back to the center, circle the arm around over to the right, and circle the top arm as you go over to the left. Again, making a big figure 8, last one. Beautiful, hands to the knees and circumvent big circles. I want the spine to feel like it has a say in what we do today. Like we're not surprising it with anything. We're actually getting it ready for the immersions. Immerse yourself in the movement. And then let's take the legs all the way out and shake, wiggle, rotate, get the joints mobile in both directions. And then give yourself a little love pat from the ankles, the feet, up to the shins. Side body, belly, and cross to the arms and the shoulders. A little love pat all the way to the neck and the crown of the head. Again, a little bit of time here. Waking the whole body up, the brain, and getting the blood flow. Shake it out, cross the legs, and let's come to a downward facing dog. Lengthening the spine. And give a little pulse to the heels. Tremor. Pulse up and down. The heels balancing, so to speak. Inhale, come forward to the top of a push-up. Exhale, press back. And as you come forward, the shoulders are stopped by the pads of the fingers. They're pushing into the floor. And that helps the lift as we change directions to go back into downward facing dog. Now we're going to speed this up so you'll feel it a little bit more intensely. Here we go. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 10 of these. 6 more. 5. Inhale, exhale. 3, 2. Inhale, come forward. Bring your knees to the floor, and we'll take what I call Chandrasana. If you've been following me at all, we've been working on this one all month. Chest and chin comes to the floor. Inhale into a low Cobra. Let's take it pretty low so the ribs are still on the ground. The hands are going to come off in a jet airplane, and then bring them around to the base of the spine, knuckles together, fist, and lift. Elbows to the sky. So that's a really strong extension. If you like, keep the arms here. Hold and then raise the legs. In Shavasana, locust pose, holding 3. So right off the bat, we're firing up the posterior chain. We're getting strong 2. Pressing through, high centered on the belly. 1, let the hands, turn the toes under, downward facing dog. Neutral spine here. Take your feet a little bit wider, maybe as wide as your mat, and then walk your fingers back towards the feet. Let's hold it mid-mat, and then shift the hips only. Slight bend in the knee, come into a functional forward fold. Now sweep the hips around side to side as you bend and straighten one leg. So bending the right knee as you straighten the left. And the right knee, or straighten the right knee as I bend the left, straighten the left as I bend the right. Hips are behind the heels here and all the weight's in the heels. And then as you move a little bit more forward, we come into a normal forward fold here. You're going to drop the head down towards the floor. Normal in that the hips are above the heels, so the weight is more forward in the balls of the feet. We're going to keep the softness in the knees and the feet are wide, so that's a modification. Then you come up all the way to standing. We'll bend the knees, bring the elbows to the knees. Now the head is above that, of course, is an inversion. The head is above the heart, so we're upright. So we're slowly coming up, hands to the thighs, rolling to standing. Then we'll take it back down, exhale twice more. Inhale is a rolling up. Exhale, bringing it back down. Sort of a cat-cow. And a float through the spine. Last one. Raise all the way to standing. Bring the feet together. Arms overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, take it to a side stretch. So crescent, side crescent, long to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Side crescent to the left. Back to center. Side crescent over to the right again. Inhale, center. Side crescent left. And back to center. Side, back crescent, so not side, but back extension, hands to the base of the spine. And the elbow wings, instead of floating out, are going to tuck back. Little bend in the knee, pull in through the low belly and lift up through the sternum. You want to get as much length out of this back of the spine as possible. We're not trying to crease the low back, we're trying to increase the extension. Lift, lift, lift. Lay the head all the way back, but not releasing it. Then inhale, come back to the center part, arms overhead. Lengthen the spine. Jump the feet apart. Exhale the arms back down, and let's take a twist to the left and the right and the left. It's easy, floating the arms. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We're building strength and stamina for sure. That's going to give us stability. Sometimes we move into a rigidity. This is going to help us stay out of rigid state, more loose, fluid, ease, and graceful. That's what we're after. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. And then stand center, shake the legs up, shake the hips, wiggle, 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 really wiggle. Shake it out. Arms, legs, even the head. You know, the leaves right now, they're shaking off all their leaves. You just pretend you're shaking off all that stress, letting it go. Releasing. Inhale, exhale, let it go. And then come to the top of your mat. Bring the arms up overhead. Sun salutation. Exhale, classic style. Forward fold. Inhale, let's bring the right leg back and gently bring the knee to the floor. Pause. Exhale, straighten the front leg. And then bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. It's our first little warm up for the hip. You can make this as deep or as tender as you'd like. One more time, hold here. Bring the arms overhead. Inhale, hold 3. Hold 2, and that might be a really strong positioning. Your front leg is pressing down. The heel back as the back knee comes forward. 1, hands to the mat. Step back into a downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. We'll come into that Ashtanga position. So the knees come to the floor. And the chest right between the thumbs. Don't smash the thumbs. They'd be too close, so make sure they're wide. The hip, it has a slippery slope all the way to the crown of the head. And then inchworm your way into a low cobra. Release that into downward facing dog. Raise the right leg and step all the way through to a low lunge. Hold the low lunge. Inhale, lift the hip. Exhale, lower. So in this space, on this side, the leg is straight on the back leg. The knee is elevated. We're taking it bend and straighten. One more. As you bend the knee, push off with the back toe. So you bring your back foot in to meet your front. Inhale to a tabletop. Exhale, dropping it down. Inhale, push through the floor, come all the way to standing. Palms together at the heart center. Release, inhale, second side, forward fold. Weight into the balls of the feet. Inhale, left leg steps back. The knee comes to the floor and we lift the chest. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Inhale, bend. We're going through this opening of the hip. We're really working the inner channel of the hamstring. One more. Hold strong as you come forward. Sweep the arms overhead, pancaking the hands, and hold 3. Alternatively, you could have a hand on a thigh, one or both, and hold. We're still in that half moon shape. Through the torso, and you get to challenge yourself to a greater extent or lessen that intensity based on how you feel today. Plant the hands, step all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale to the top of a push-up. Bring the knees, chest and chin to the floor. Exhale. Inhale, low cobra. Now we might be coming a little bit higher. I'm getting the ribs off the ground. And snake-like move it side to side because it just feels like I need to open through the heart more. Exhale, downward facing dog. Raise the left leg to the sky. Inhale. Step all the way forward. This is where blocks are handy. Now, I'm not using blocks because this is my second class today. I feel pretty open. But if you keep your blocks off to the side and then just bring them in when necessary, right? So we descend the hips and we're going to straighten the leg. To get the leg all the way straight may require blocks. And then bend at any height. Make sure you're supported here. So we can get more open, go deeper in the postures by actually using our props appropriately. One more time. Bend the knee, push off with the back foot, come forward. Inhale, a lift to a flat back. Again, here's an idea of using the blocks. So if you watch once and this feels good to you, then do it over and over again until the blocks come. And then you could start taking the blocks a little flatter and see the progression of coming all the way to the floor with the legs still straight. We're not trying to come to the floor with a bent leg. So straighten the legs and come to where you're confidently straight in the legs. And then bow forward, that deeper forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Arms come overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands at the heart center. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg steps back. So we're going for a second set here. We're spinning the back heel and then coming into side angle. Deeper bend in the front knee. So we're bringing the knee right over the ankle with a tracking over the second and third toe. So the top arm comes around, bend it. Place the hand behind the head and open. Okay, so if you need some suggestions here, block, hand in the block, or we're going deep really fast, or elbow to the thigh. Any of those postures work. Then we're going to bring the fingertips off the ground, come all the way up into warrior two, with the gaze out over the front fingers, a little deeper bend, wide stance. You should have a leg's length from your front heel to your back heel, and then reverse the warrior. And exhale, come forward with an arm circle. So the top arm is going to circle around, pull us back up into reverse. Now the front arm is going to do the same thing, pull us back into side angle. We're making a beautiful figure eight flow with the torso and the arm. One more time. Sweep it back, straighten the front leg. We're reaching all the way back, reversing the triangle, and we'll come into triangle. We shift the ribs, bring the hand to the floor or block. Again, if you have the side bodies parallel, then the fingers can reach to the floor. If we're trying to reach the floor and we're bent over, and this is super uncomfortable with the bent leg, bring the hand to the shin. Okay, stay out of the struggle and the misalignment. We don't want to give up the alignment just for the sake of touching the ground. There's no purpose in that at all. So let's take the top hand to the waist. Bend your front knee. We're going to use our block and take a little adventure trip here. Coming forward into Arda Chandrasana or half moon. So the back leg elevates. Lifting. Inhale. Hold. 3. Hold. 2. Hold. 1. Let's pause here. Bend the knee. Lift the bottom leg, so we're actually balancing. Keep your gaze at the floor. Maybe the fingertips come off, straighten the leg, really strong, and then we'll come back into triangle pose. Yay, we made it. Right hand to the floor, bring your back heel up. We're now in a low lunge. We're gonna spin this around, so I'll be facing the back wall. And mandala the arm, so the shoulder gets a nice opening, circular motion, full agility, movement. Plant the left hand to the floor and step all the way back into a downward facing dog. So left leg has some power in it, like we really worked it hard. We're working hard today to rejuvenate for tomorrow, to build a better tomorrow. Think about that, like what are you doing today that assists you in better living tomorrow? What are you doing financially? How are you utilizing your health and strength in the best possible way? So if you think, this donut cake doesn't matter, the soda, the carbonation, the sugars that I'm eating, I'll work it off. It's harmful. We don't want to put harmful things in our body today that don't support us in the tomorrow. Support yourself tomorrow by being mindful of how you appropriately challenge yourself today and how you, what's in your best interest. Let's bring the knees, chest and chin to the floor. Ashtanga. Inhale, low Cobra. And you could take this all the way into up dog if you're feeling strong and you want to that challenge. Your gaze is upward for the third eye. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Now follow carefully. We're going to take the right leg up. We're bending the knee and then we're just lifting the knee a little bit higher than the hip. The ankle stays in about the same space. And come up onto the ball of the foot. So 3-legged downward facing dog.
Right leg's gonna sweep through into a warrior three. So on my mark, 2 and 1, step all the way forward. Top of the mat, use your blocks here. Shift the weight to the right leg and lift your back leg up. Hold here. If you'd like, you can bring the fingertips off the block. Your awareness is pressing down into the standing leg. Straight and strong with the back leg. And then if you'd like, reach the arms forward. We're in a full warrior three. I've got a table here. You could use a chair for support. Holding 3, holding 2, standing, very strong, steady. 1, push into the floor, slight bend in the knee and lift to come back to standing. And exhale, hands to your heart. We're gonna just take a little brief breather. Like shake the legs, shake the arms, shake the hands. And just a little shimmy up and down. A lot of energy expenditure. And when you see cats and dogs, the animals, like run away from a predator, they're really, or they might be the predator themselves, like pouncing that made that kill. When they're done, they release that energy. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hands to your side. Inhale, arms overhead. The same movements, second side. Exhale, forward fold. A lot of asymmetry here. Stay with me. Inhale, step the back leg to the back edge of your mat and spin it to the floor. Right hand stays on a block on the floor. Then we open in that side venue again. Hand place behind the head and stretch it long. Big inhale, big exhale. Now a lot of weight might be in the elbow. If you have the elbow to the thigh, or it might be in your fingertips. Take the weight into the right foot, press down through the heel, fire up the glute. You've got big muscles here that can be utilized to elevate yourself back into warrior 2. The arms are parallel, gaze out over the front fingers. Reverse the warrior. And then take it back into side angle. With the mandala arm, reverse the warrior. So take the top arm and circle the head. Pull it all the way back down to side angle. Circle the head again. And reverse warrior. Just a couple of times. Ease and grace, fluid. One more. Reverse the warrior, straighten the front leg. Now we're in a reverse triangle. Let's come through vertical and reach forward through the ribs. Take the hand to the shin. And because I've done a couple of classes today, bringing the hand to the floor is no problem, and keeping the spine straight in line with this, the movement of the hip. Your hip really has to be tilted, and you can see the parallel lines, top and bottom of the side bodies here. Pull in through the belly. Let's bring the left hand to the waist. Shift the weight forward onto the right leg as you bend. And come into Arda Chandrasana, half moon. So your gaze can be anywhere from the floor to the side wall, maybe to the top. Pause here, anchor through your ribs towards your hip. So the anchor in all of this is that you really are connected to your core. Push down through your right foot and see if you can ease the fingertips off the block. So we're dangling here. And bring the hand back to the earth. We've got some support. Into triangle. And then the left arm comes down, bend the knee, and we find ourselves back in a twisting low lunge. We're going to take the arm and make big circles. We open the shoulder joint. Inhale all the way around. Exhale. Again, the right hand to the floor. Step all the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come into the top of a push-up. Bring the knees, chest and chin to the earth, exhaling. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, bend the knee, and then lift the knee. Keep your right leg strong. So this is a three-legged scorpion. In a downward facing dog, the shoulders are evenly spaced, so that means pulling your right shoulder forward, right hip back. Hold. Step through with the left foot, top of the mat, come forward into warrior three. Your right leg is elevated. Squeeze and hug the midline and take the inner thigh up to the sky. Let's do a slight bend in the standing leg so we don't hyperextend. We'll watch that. Pull up through the belly, lift the arms and float into jet airplane. Then begin to straighten the standing leg. Not to hyperextend, but to get, you need some feeling here. This is very taxing. Your leg's holding you. We're in this forward motion. There's a lot of weight. Even more so if you bring the arms forward and we hold three, hold two, one, lift the torso, bring your right foot all the way underneath. Sorry. And we're in a standing pose. My microphone buried. Hope that sounds better right now. And again, shake it out. Shake out the arms, the legs. And we come to this top position once again. Inhale the arms all the way to the sky. Exhale, take a forward fold. We're going to do a regular sun salutation. So it's an inhale, flat back. Hands plant, jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, a full upward facing dog. Exhale, back into a downward facing dog. And then we'll glide into a plank and just tap the right knee to the earth. Come back into downward facing dog. Glide into plank. Tap the left knee to the earth. And we're alternating right and left. Keep the waistline pulling up as you bring the knee to the floor so that we don't start lowering the hips, right? Don't make it heavy, make it very light, touching, and back, one more. And back, bring the left knee and hold it to the earth. Right foot is all the way back and give a little pulse action. We'll take the right leg up, inhale, and then actually let's bring the right leg to the ground and circle it out to the side, pressing the hips back. And I think our inner thighs need just a little bit of a stretch. And then come forward and circle the leg over to the left side, and you're looking over the left shoulder. Pendulum swing out in front, sit the hips back. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, hold. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, press back. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, hold. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, press back. Last one. Bring the right leg hip high, the left arm forward, and then tuck and touch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, connect and contract. One more. Extend, left arm comes down, right foot to the floor, and then kickstand and open to the side wall. We're in this Shavasana. We've been doing this for a while. Hand to the base of the head. Press back, open even more here. And we'll take this into a bow pulling pose. Right arm, right leg, and we're going to clasp the big toe side. Push the foot into the hand as you bend the knee. And sticking the ribs out, kick the foot back and pull the ribs in. Lengthen the tailbone towards the back wall. And see if you can find even more grace and ease through the shoulder. When you do that, release the leg, bring it to the floor, square the shoulders back to the earth as we kickstand and come into a three-legged down dog. Dipping the right foot all the way through to a low lunge. Shift the weight, come into warrior three. We get a second chance and then rise all the way up to standing. We're not holding those postures anymore. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, second side, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Oh, I've got much more openness through my right leg. I can feel that. Jumper step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward dog. And bring the right knee to the floor. The left leg now is going to pulse forward and back. Keep a strong grip through the wrist. And then we'll pendulum swing. Left leg comes out to the side, press the hips back. We get the inner channel of the leg to open up a little bit. Sweep the leg around to the right. Hold as you look over your right shoulder. And pendulum swing the leg over to the left and sit back. Exhale. Inhale, sweep to the right. Hold. Inhale, sweep to the left. Exhale, hold. One last time. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, hold. And inhale, sweep and lift. Left arm, right, left leg, right arm. Exhale, tuck and touch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, connect and contract. Inhale, extension. Exhale, contract. Extend, hold, steady, right hand to the floor, kickstand, and open to the side wall. We'll make that long. Bring your left hand to the base of the back of the head, not base, back of the head. Press and open to the sky. In the same fashion, you want the ribs to be pulling down towards the hip. So we lengthen the low back. It's out of harm's way. Now lift the leg, the arm to the sky, bend the top leg, reach underneath and clasp the big toe side of the foot. Press straight back. Instead of bending at the elbow, keep vigilant. Strong right hand into the earth, the arm supporting the leg, pressing, top arm pressing back into the hand. Pull the ribs in. Get back. Release. Square the hips, shoulders. Three-legged down dog. Right here. Step all the way through, coming into a warrior three. Shift the weight to the left leg. Hands come into jet airplane, holding one breath. And then lifting all the way to stand. Right leg comes underneath. And we shake it out. Inhale. Shake the wrist. Let's come overhead. Again, Utthita with the palms together, holding. Lengthen through the side body. Bend the elbows and bring the pads of the thumbs to the upper skull, making a horseshoe shape with the hands. The elbows plugging in. So they're going to be in line with the shoulder, not more narrow than the shoulder or not wider than the shoulder. So if you have a mirror, and I'm looking in the mirror right now, make sure that elbow and the shoulder are at the same plane. You're just going to draw the armpit back, armpit back, and then press the head back into the hands. Elbow, hold strong, push down through the feet. This is an upside right headstand. And what we should see is the form is flush with the top of the head. And the head I'm talking about is about 2 fingers length from your forehead. This is where I'm talking. It's 2 fingers length in front of the crown of the head. So if the crown is back here, 2 fingers, and that's where we want, where the nose and the ear intersect, right there. I think that's called the fontaine or fonto, I'm not sure. Elbows in, I'm really messing that up big time. Let's come back to the stand. And release the hands. We'll do that one more time, no worries. Arms back down. So we're structuring or progressing into our headstand and handstand, or headstand and shoulder stand. Handstands maybe next month, which is tomorrow. Inhale, let's bring the arms up. Exhale, and a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step or jump back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, ankles hugging together. Inner thigh strong. Exhale, lift the hips. Press all the way back into a downward facing dog, and we're gonna hold here. In a downward facing dog, bring your thumbs together. So your hands are gonna walk in towards the middle of the mat, your thumbs touching. My fingers are spread wide. I'm still pressing into the earth with the thumb pad, finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, all of that's super strong. Your elbows are gonna start to want to bend here, especially if we have a weakness in the back. So I want to keep the elbows straight. And then look towards your thumb and bend the elbows halfway, broaden the shoulders, pause here, lengthen the neck, and the elbows are aiming towards the floor, straight below you, not out to the side. And then straighten the arms again, and your elbows are probably going to, shoulder blades are shrugging off the back, and your elbows are widening just a little, tiny bit. And then bend again, and straighten. Do that several times. Little bend, and straighten. We're going to come all the way to the floor. A little greater bend. And now we end up in dolphin. Holding dolphin, bring the weight forward over the forearms and then back. So the shoulders come a little forward over the forearms and then back. We're going to get that kind of movement. I know your shoulders are aching. One more. We're almost done. I feel it too. Let's bring your knees to the floor. And sit back on your heels in a screaming toe. If you'd rather bring the tops of the feet down and have a block underneath, oh, totally great, do it. Do what's working for you. Today's challenge is, what can I do? So we're not thinking, I can't do that. What can I do? What can I do? Awesome. So we're here, interlace the fingers. We're going to take that action of bringing the hands behind the head again. So the knuckles, the fingers are pressing the knuckles towards each other. So you make a horseshoe shape. We're not pressing the palms together. We're pads of the fingers on the knuckles and they're gripping. So your hands are strong. Make sure you've got a space that you can see through. Okay, so that's a horseshoe shape. Okay. And the elbows again, in line with the shoulders, not wider, not narrower. Then take the arm overhead and plant the pad of the thumb to the upper head and press back. I know I came out of screaming toe, you can do that too. Pull the ribs in, and we're in that upside right channel again of a headstand. And we're going to invert this. Go ahead and release the hands. And then hopefully you felt that somewhere around the mid-back. We're trying to fire up the back so that it's playing a part in all of this.
tap the toes out, we go side to side. And now comes the time to invert head below the heart, which means your feet do not need to come off the earth. So stay with me on this one. We'll plant the hands, interlace the fingers. Bring your pinky finger, the one that's going to get squished in, and fold it inside your opposite pinky finger. Tuck the head into the horseshoe shape. So the pads of the thumb again are touching the head, back of the head. Elbows not too wide. Turn the toes under and lift. And now we've got the cervical spine free. This should feel really good and healthy. And we're gonna just see if you've got control over the forearms pushing into the floor so you can actually lift the head off the ground at will. And then if you want to bring it back down, you can bring it back down. If this is comfortable for you and you're confident here, you're not pile driving, bring the hips more over the shoulders. Do not let the shoulders come forward any more than they already are. They're in a great position. And then just lift one leg, keep one toe on the ground. And we're in our inversion. Our headstand is right here. Toe on the ground, elevated left leg, holding. Lift the head off the ground with your forearms. And that's going to take an enormous amount of energy. Bring the left leg to the floor, right leg up to the sky. The same thing with the right leg. Make sure you can tip-tock your head off the ground. And then if you want to bring the feet together, that full headstand, it's grace and ease coming up from the floor. We're not jumping into this posture at all. No jumping whatsoever. A lot of ease and grace. I'm telling you right now, the jumping does not help for tomorrow's practice. It doesn't build the strength. It only weakens the body. So if you can keep the toe on the earth and try with all your might to lift the standing leg up to the sky to get the bottom toe to lift, that's where the strength is. That's where we're building. Okay, and then come out if you're not already. Stack the fists. Rest the forehead on the fists. We should already be out of harm's way in the neck and not feel any pressure there whatsoever. If you come out of headstand over and over again and you're like, oh my gosh, my neck is wrecked, then the headstand's not serving you, right? We're not trying to get somewhere so that tomorrow we're in pain or agony or we have injury. We're actually trying to promote health and well-being in the body today so that tomorrow is even better for us. Remember that when you're 80 and 90, you're going to thank yourself today for doing the work. And maybe when you're 80, that's when your headstands become easeful and graceful. There's no reason for it not to be, right? I'm doing things 20 years from when I started yoga today with more ease and grace than I was doing in my 30s. And I'm in my upper 50s, so it's making it, it's the baby steps and progressions that we go along the way. I'm just asking, what can I do? What's possible today? All right, we're gonna bring the feet through to a seated pose. We're doing super well on time today. Again, shaking the legs out. We did the king of asana, headstand, which doesn't mean we're wrecking, it's not a neck wreck stand, it's a headstand. We're building strength in our forearms, we're building strength in our back, building strength in our mental capacity for what is possible, and also building strength, of course, in the neck as well. We're going to kickstand this Dandasana, this staff pose. The hands placed behind the hips in a way that your spine reaches towards the sky. Pull the ribs in. Right here, anchor your ribs, these lower ribs towards the hip. That's the energy, or they're coming in towards each other. And then it will allow you to release the kickstand and reach up. Still have a flat back as if we're against the wall. And next topic is the inversion in a handstand. This is what a handstand looks like, a half L shape against the wall. Flatten the palms and press to the sky. Squeeze the elbows in, hug your biceps to your ears, press, press, press. Into the floor, out through the feet, into the floor, up through the hands, into the floor, out through the feet, into the floor, up to the hands. Take a breath. See if you can hold that. And then release the arms back down. That should feel very powerful. And we're prepping for a handstand on the wall, which we'll take you through next week. Hope you can join me there. From here, bring the arms straight out and lower down about 10 degrees. We're going to pause and take 2 deep breaths. Lower down another 10 degrees. Anchor the heels and the thighs to the floor, tucking the tailbone under just slightly and draw the navel to the spine. And then another 10 degrees. Same thing here. We're challenging our abs as we slowly roll onto our back. And again, a little tucking. Breath in, big breath out, and roll down. One more. Hold, hold. This is that really challenging area. And then release all the way down. Arms come overhead and extend. Feet and fingers away from each other. Big breath in, big breath out. Exhale the arms all the way down. And then I'm going to shift onto my mat here. Bending the knees, let's make sure you have a block handy. If you do have a block, let's keep them a little bit close here. Oh, it's always a good time when we're on the ground. Oh, yay, we're getting closer to the end of class. Beautiful job. Feet, knees bent, feet plugged into the earth. We'll just take a regular bridge right here. So your heels are in line with the knees. Knees are parallel, arms to the mat. And then if there's a gap here between your shoulder, the back side, posterior side of the shoulder and your mat, you're going to try to press all that space out on both sides to get the shoulder blade to come underneath. And now we're standing more on the shoulder and less on the cervical spine. That's important when we start coming into a shoulder stand. We're pressing straight down through all 4 corners of the feet. I want you to feel that. So you're not out into the outer edges or turning the toes out. The toes are remaining straight forward. We're in a parallel position with the feet. And just enjoy that open front body. And the hands can reach down towards the heel, with the heels. Stepping onto the fingertips and lift. This almost looks like a camel pose placed on the back. Really high through the chest. Exhale, release the hips back down. You want to take a second bridge with blocks between the knees. If you don't have a block, bring the knees together, no problem. Bring the feet closer. Maybe the toes are touching and the heels are slightly ajar. And lift again into bridge. With a little squeeze in the knees or squeeze in the block, you're going to raise the drawbridge. The right leg is going to extend forward. Pressing down through the left, hamstring again, super working hard. And then drawbridge closes. We press down through the feet to lift the hips, squeeze the block and take the second side. Left leg extending forward, holding for a breath or two. And then tuck that foot underneath and lower the hips all the way back down. Let's bring the palm of the hand into the crease of the hip and press it forward.
You're pushing the thigh bone in, forward and allowing your low back to lift. On the exhale, release the pressure and but increase it low back to the mat. Inhale, lift low back, press into the thighs. Exhale, release the thighs, press into the low back. Again, this is just a pelvic tilt, so we're lifting the pelvic, this knobby part, bony part right here, posterior and anteriorly. Big movements. See that hip? My finger on it, you can see the trajectory, it's moving. One more. Awesome. And then release the knees, release the block. We're going to slide the block underneath the hips. So you'll raise, let the block rest just on the sacrum with your tailbone right to the edge. It's overlooking the edge, like ready to jump off the block. Shoulder blades underneath. Again, I want to press the space between the shoulder and the floor out. Elbows coming to a bend and then just reach one leg to the sky and the other. We're properly supported on the sacrum with the block. The plumb line from the heel to the hip is a straight one into the block and floor. Supported shoulder stand. Keep the heart high and lifted. If you want to take this into full shoulder stand, you're just going to push stronger with the elbows, lift higher with the heart. Take the hips off the block and extend the feet to the sky. As a possibility, we're here for 10 breaths, either in supported shoulder stand or a regular shoulder stand. And then for those of you who have a really shoulder stand is in your practice, you may want to bring this into lotus, Padmasana. So you fold left foot, right foot. That's a variation. And then I'll kickstand the hip and a little twist to the right, one to the left. Yes, I need a spot on that. And the option is just to hold the knee. A lot deeper hip stretch. And release. And fold the opposite leg in. You gotta think about that. Right leg first. And then left leg comes in. I am hip challenged, so I need an assist. The fact that I can come into this all is pretty much a miracle. This is one of those postures I could not do in my 30s, but here I am in my 50s, and realizing a little more freedom in the hip and the ability to work through lotus pose. Coming back out. And it's just a practice. If you are in a full shoulder stand, bring the feet over into plow. Otherwise, we're holding shoulder stand for a good 10 deep breaths, maybe even up to 20. So your hips could remain on the block and the feet over the hips in that supported shoulder stand. This is where we start. And again, the heart is above the head. You're in an inversion. This is a cooling posture. So many great benefits. What can I do? That is a question. To be or not to be. It's what can I do? Be here now. Bring the hips to the block if they're not already. Bend the knees. And bring the feet all the way to the floor. And slowly bring our way out of this. Removing the block, place the hands underneath the hips before you lower them, crossing at the thumbs, and then lower onto the wrist here, flatten the palms out, straighten the legs all the way to the floor. So we're essentially sitting on the top of our hand, the palm to the mat. You're gonna bend the elbow into the floor, so really push hard with the forearms to lift yourself up. Take the crown of the head back. Now we're in fish. And if it's not easy on your neck, make sure to put no pressure on the neck. You could be right here lifting the chest. This is just a balanced action to our shoulder stand. Again, what's possible? What am I doing today that helps me feel more vibrant tomorrow? Is this going to happen? Is it going to make you stronger? Make you healthier? You're going to thank yourself tomorrow for what you did today. What you ate today, what you saw today, what you thought today. Let's come out of that. Tucking the chin, bend the knees, and then free up the arms. Cross right ankle over left. Draw the knee in towards the chest. We'll reach through for a little hip stretch. Extend the left leg to the sky. And then give your shin a right hook. So the elbow hugs underneath the shin. You're going to squeeze it towards you. Lift the torso. And then hold left hand to right foot. Slowly and gently lower the left leg towards the floor. So it looks like we're in a supine pigeon. We're not putting a lot of weight on it yet, but we are definitely opening it. If you can and would like to lower the shoulders and torso to the earth, you could do that as well. Let's take the knee towards the shoulder, pressing down so we get a half happy baby here. Big breath in, big breath out. Hold elixir. Leg. Unwind the leg, grab the big toe and extend the foot up to the sky. And at this point, out to the side, you may want to bend your standing leg. If it's bent, you're going to cross the ankle over. If it's straight, the toe, and then draw the right knee across the body for an easy spinal twist. We are winding down. I want to give you a good solid Shavasana today. Roll the head side to side. Make sure the body is replenishing itself here at this point. Come back to center. Left ankle over the right thigh this time, and then you're drawing the knee towards you. A little hip stretch. Extend the right leg to the sky. Hold. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax the shoulders. And then give your shin a left hook. Pancake, right hand to the foot. Raise the neck and shoulders. Giving that a little sandwich. Lower the right leg slowly towards the earth. If it feels okay to do so, you can lower the torso. Roll the head side to side. And then gently guide your left foot up to the ceiling. Half happy baby. All the foot's reaching up. Opposite foot is reaching out, the thigh towards the earth. Unwind, grabbing the big toe, extend the leg to the sky and out to the side. It's at this point where we may want to bend the bottom leg. Remember, this is about bringing yourself into more awareness, more vibrancy for tomorrow. Good. Hook the toe, draw the knee across the body. And release the head, neck, and shoulders. Definitely getting ready for Shavasana. Come back to center and take any posture of your choice. I feel pretty good and ready to go right into Shavasana. So the feet are going to pocket the edge of the top of the mat. Kind of like if you're playing pool, you want the pockets. You're aiming for the pockets. And then the arms come out gently. Open the palms to the sky. Release and relax into the earth. And you have an awesome 5 or 6 or 7 minutes here in Shavasana. Like really allow yourself the opportunity to be in that peaceful, restful state. A 5-minute meditation is not too long. It's not too much. In fact, the challenge here is if you have a busy day to take a 10-minute Shavasana. The saying is if you don't have time for an hour meditation or 20 minutes of meditation, then double it. We're so busy running around doing things that we haven't organized in our mind and allowed the energy of the universe to support us in what we really want to magnify today. What do you really want to magnify today? Concentrate on that in this meditation with some inquiry. What can I do? And see what comes up for you. See how you can envelop or develop an intuition that leads you in the right direction, so we're not bumping against resistance all the time, if that makes sense. We put ourselves in the flow of things, and sometimes resistance comes in the form of a challenge, and we just resist from the inside. And that resistance is pushing our growth zone. When we find resistance from the outside, it's because we're misaligned with our purpose. We're misaligned from the inside. And this is where meditation can really be helpful and useful. Align from the inside out. Let yourself be in this restful, peaceful state. Shavasana. Another minute or two. Quiet the body, still the mind. Relax all the way from the head to the toes to the crown of the head. I'm possible. Even the word impossible says, I'm possible.
Fully envelop this restful state, peaceful meditation. 30 more seconds. Gently breathe into the belly, a deeper, longer, extended breath out to the extremities as you exhale. Enlivening the fingers and toes, starting to move through the wrist and ankles. And feeling that electric current move through the body. Draw the knees into the chest. Roll into a ball to one side. Just curled up gently. When you're ready, help yourself to seated position. Acknowledge yourself in some way with gratitude. I am so grateful for the awareness I have today, the capacity to move my body. So grateful for my knees, my limbs, my wrists, and shoulders. Everything about this body. And love and appreciate. Just notice how that lands on you. If it's comfortable or uncomfortable, say it anyway. I love and appreciate myself for showing up. I acknowledge, appreciate you showing up, your deep soul beauty, coming on this journey, joyfully expanding every step and progression along the way. So much happiness, love, in my heart to be able to share this modality of yoga with you. And I appreciate you so, so much. Thank you for coming to the end. Namaste.